What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. This is episode 190 of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow, the number one Arrowverse podcast on Pornhub. I am your host, Lord Cussalott Travis Pointer, aka the Dragon King, aka Big T, aka T Money, aka Sweet T, aka Black Merlin, aka the HNIC. And I am your host. And I am here with my co-host. Ooh, what the hell happened there? I'm here with my co-host, Mara the Shark Watkins.
Hello.
Oh, man. How are you tonight, Mara?
I'm okay. My glasses are being squished into my head, but I'm okay.
Why are your glasses being smushed into your head? What happened?
I think my headphones, along with my new glasses, on top of my 36-inch long hair, it's just a lot underneath the headphones.
I see. It's a lot. I got you.
Being compressed in. Yeah.
Compression. Not to be confused with deception. Disgrace. Not even going
Lion King 2? No.
Whatever, fine. Well, anyway, we're not here to talk about the Lion King 2. So we don't have to. We're here to talk about the Arrowverse on the CW. Supergirl, Flash, Legend of Tomorrow, Arrow, Black Lightning, Batwoman, Stargirl, Superman and Lois, Naomi, all of them. So let's talk about all of them.
We only have 2.
So we'll talk about 2 of them.
2 of them.
Yeah. Which one of them you want to start with, though?
Let's go with Superman and Lois.
Okay.
These are both penultimate episodes.
Yeah. And this was the less dramatic of the 2, so we'll go with that. What was the name of this episode, Mar?
World's War Bazaar. And at this point now, I'm just like, y'all are just throwing words together.
Yeah. Like, what words have we used this season? Just put them all together and we'll make that the title. Yeah. Because that makes about as much sense as anything else. So, yeah. This episode kicks off with Clark still in the hospital. Lois is at his side. But then he wakes up. They just go back home. Nobody's like, you should rest more or anything like that. He just wakes up and goes home.
No, like, you should stay for more testing.
None of that. He just woke up and went home. Then they get back to the farm and he's like not charging up right. So he's like, barely able to walk and shit. He like stumbled walking up the stairs. Like, oh, damn, you ain't shit, dude. Like,
he really worn down.
Yeah. Yeah. So they were talking and they're like, yo, maybe Jordan can take him to the fortress, fly him up there. And he's like, yo, I can barely fly. Like, I can't control myself. I blah, 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 blah. Just a whole bunch of excuses as to why he can't do it. So,
right. Which is crazy because I feel like most other times he's like, let me help.
Yeah.
Let me help.
Yeah. Fucking Jordan. He's just. So then we got, Clark just goes to John Henry Irons for help instead because his son is useless. And
I was trying to figure out, I was like, so if Jordan doesn't take you, what would be the other option? I was like, could the DOD like drop you off?
No, because you'd have to tell them where it is. Like, that's the problem. Like, he couldn't do that. So yeah, he goes to John Henry Irons and he's like, yo, can you take me up there? And he's like, yeah, I got you, homie. Then Allie does the TV takeover thing, the classic supervillain thing where she takes over the TV and stuff. That's happening.
Which is crazy because it's just like she's doing all this shit and like half of the merging doesn't even understand what's going on.
At all. They're all just like, confused. Like the sky changing colors and shit. The sun is now red and it's a cube instead of a sphere.
Spear
Like it's just
and yellow.
yeah. We got some stuff going on at the newspaper. Newspaper lady's trying to run the story on Allie, and her Chrissy. And Lois like, no, we need to chill for a minute. We don't want to cause a panic. Blah 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 blah. Let's see. So he goes. We at the fortress with Clark and John Henry talking to Clark's mama, and his Krypton mama, not his like Earth mama, not Martha.
Mama L.
Yeah. And she basically tells him like his cells just need to readjust because he pretty much got everything drained out of him. So it's like almost like when you first arrived here as a baby, and he was like, my powers didn't start showing up till I was 4. And John Henry's just like, oh shit. Like, like
that's a long time to be merged.
So that happens, and he's just like, yeah, we're fucked. So
she said she had some idea to speed it up, but it was very dangerous and she wasn't able to say it.
So clearly they're gonna do it. So we'll see next episode.
Yeah.
So we talked about the sky changing colors and the sun and all that. It's the the sun from the Bizarro universe, and it's basically slowly phasing into theirs. Then we're back at the farm, and Bizarro Lana attacks. Jordan tries to hold her off, but he gets his ass whooped because he's useless. And Steel and Little Steel show up and they chase her off. So that was good. Let's see. But after some more research, we find out from Natalie, like, yo, the world's going to merge in 12 hours. So we got 12 hours to fix this, or we are royally fucked.
Kaput.
Yeah, it's over. All done.
And also the DOD put out like some kind of cover-up message about the whole sun thing. And I was like, how y'all going to cover that up?
Yeah, how do you cover up the sun changing shape?
And color. Like,
yeah.
I was like, you really think people are that dumb?
I mean, a lot of people are though. So
I know, I'm just saying, it's just like, I'm also curious. Is any of the weird shit that was happening, like with the screens like computers going wacky and all that shit, is it happening everywhere else, or is it just happening in Smallville?
I imagine it's happening everywhere because the whole world is merging.
True. Mm-hmm. I digress.
Yeah. So then we have a point where Lana has a talk with Cam, and basically tells him like, yo, I need you to, take care of the girls for a minute because I got some shit to handle. And she's like, I'm gonna do a town hall and I'm gonna just tell everybody everything. Just tell them everything. And she does it. Nobody's believing her. She even tells them that Superman lost his powers, and they're like, you full of shit.
You know what's crazy? All the shit, especially that the city of Townsville. I mean,
Smallville.
Thank you.
Yeah, wrong show.
Not the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, wrong show.
The town of Smallville, of all the weird shit they have ever encountered or seen happen, you don't think it's crazy that another Earth might be trying to sinisterly merge with ours?
Yeah, somehow that's not possible. But the aliens thing, sure.
That's what I say. I was like, yet you believe that a nigga in a spandex suit will always save you?
Yeah, that's perfectly acceptable. But the merging of the worlds thing is where they draw the line.
Like, no, sorry, excuse me. I'm like, all of them like laughing while she was saying it. I was just like, I'm so confusion.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all live on an Earth where there are two Kryptonians saving cities, where you have a dude and then well, at some point it was a dude, and then it became a woman dressed up in a bat suit all over his town. What else? You had a nigga who was shooting arrows at people. You got someone who can speed around the earth in seconds. But y'all gonna draw the line at another dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hate it here.
You gotta draw the line somewhere, Mara.
No.
And that's where they chose to draw it.
They were like, this is a slippery slope.
That's the line right there.
Sorry, excuse me. But then Superman comes and pretty much is like, you need to like listen to her. Which is like, I wish they didn't make her say that Superman wasn't coming this time. And I was like, well, damn, because he still came.
Well, they said he's not going to be able to save him because he doesn't have his powers. So that was what she said.
She should have worded it as, he's not going to save us this time.
Yeah.
She was like, he's not coming. And I was just like, he's right there.
Yeah. But we can talk about how much of a dick the former mayor is being just because he lost, because that's really what that was all about.
White man tears.
Basically.
It's white man tears.
But yeah, Clark shows up, in his whole Superman regalia and confirms everything Lana said.
I won't hold you. I thought he was going to reveal himself to the town.
Oh, I didn't think that, but it was.
I don't know why, but for 30 seconds, to get them to understand why it wasn't working, I was just like, I thought he was going to ultimately reveal himself. And I was just like, what are you doing?
Nah, I wasn't thinking that. It was just, I was just looking at like, okay, you just out here all vulnerable. Like anybody could just shoot you right now. Like,
right? Like headshot, you be done.
Yeah.
Cause I was going to say, like, you do that, you might as well just nuke the town after that.
Yeah. So John, Henry Irons, and Natalie like, yo, okay, we're gonna head on up there to the sun and we're gonna fix this. But then John Henry like locks down Natalie's suit so she can't go up there. He's like, I'm gonna go. It's gonna unlock in 10 minutes, but you need to protect the people here. Like, that's what I need you to do. And she don't like that.
I'm a BRB.
Yeah. Spoiler, he was not right back.
He's more of a BBL instead of BRB.
He's a Brazilian butt lift?
No, be back later.
Oh. About to say, damn, is that what he was doing? He was getting a Brazilian butt lift.
Well, look at his ass when he come back. Look at his ass if and when he comes back.
Yeah, he gonna come back with a don't.
All slim waist. Might up the pecs a little bit.
Lift the pecs, bring the waist in, and ass is gonna be like pow.
I'd have to eat crazy for a month just so I could get a BBL properly the way I'd want to.
He he gonna be like walking in the rooms backwards and shit.
Oh, hey, watch me. Watch my fanny, guys. Excuse me. Pardon me. Watch my hiney. That's what I would do.
Yeah. So Bizarro Lana and Bizarro John show up at the town hall.
Ironically, just as Kyle and the small one drives off.
Yeah.
Is her name Katie?
I don't know. It's the kid that doesn't really matter. It's true.
Stop saying that.
It's true. That kid serves no purpose at all.
I mean, she brought our attention to the TV.
I mean, I saw the TV before she said that, though. Like, the TV stuff was happening anyway. But anyway, so John Henry Irons goes up there. He's like in the void between the worlds.
He finds her he shoots at her, and then it's like, he flies towards her, and then it goes back to the school. Sarah's trying to like pull out of Jordan like whatever he's been holding from her, and then Lana shows up, and
Bizarre
Jordan's
Lana.
like, no,
Well,
regular
first,
Lana.
regular Lana first, you're right.
Yeah, regular Lana shows up, and you can see that she's about to be like, you better not.
And he was just like, nah, I didn't. Like, chill.
He's like, he like signals that he wasn't gonna tell her, but then all of a sudden, like Bizarro Lana shows up, and he like tells them to run, and she's just like, you too?
Like, nah, nigga, he turns back out all red. I like, run, motherfucker. Yeah. And so now she clearly knows he has powers, and she has an attitude about that later.
There's no making her happy. There's no making a 16-year-old girl happy. Literally, true. There is no making us happy.
It's true. I realized that when I was in high school.
When I was 16, there was no making me happy. I was inconsolable. I was insatiable.
So yeah, we got Bizarro John is there too. He goes after Clark and just gets to regulating on him and whooping his ass.
Yo, he was tossing him around like a rag doll.
Yeah. John Henry Irons, he's pretty much just he's gone. He's missing. We don't know where the fuck he at.
Because he shot at her and she absorbed it. He was like, oh shit, I did it. And I was like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
She absorbed all of that shit. She ate that shit.
Yeah. So Natalie sees what's going on in the school, and she shows up to help and gives Jordan some backup because he was getting his ass whooped too. Because after they finished regulating on Clark, they went to him and they double teamed his ass, and it did not go well for him.
Meanwhile, Natalie's trying to get a hold of her dad, and the AI tells her, like, something's happening at the school. You might want to get over there.
Yeah.
She shows up. She beats them both. Well, she helps beat both. DOD take over. They catch up Lois and Superman on what's going on with John Henry. And then they can't find Natalie, who's at the house.
She ain't got nowhere else to go. Then we got Sarah, is what we talked about earlier. She like puts it all together in her head that her mother knew about Jordan. She's like, why didn't you tell me? Blah, 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 blah.
It would have made a difference.
Yeah, because teenagers, everything's about them. Then after all that's going on, she's doing all that yelling. Everything in the world just starts glitching out, and the merging is happening and everything. And yeah.
Yeah.
Allie's up there just, doing her thing. And yeah, that was the end of Superman and Lois for this week. It was the all is lost moment. Pick up next week.
Yep, next week is the finale.
Yeah, apparently Diggle's in that episode.
Yes, because I think Diggle is coming back in the next season. I think I saw something that said that he was confirmed for whatever they're doing next.
Okay, yeah. So he's he's apparently in the next episode. So that's a thing.
Which makes me feel like they're gonna kill off John Henry. He could be like, we don't get two of them. We don't get two of them. Yeah, they're gonna be like, we can't have two strong black men on one show, and especially when they're not neither one of them Superman.
Yeah. We didn't even get two of them on Black Lightning. They killed the second one off.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was Superman and Lois. Let's move on to The Flash. This episode was called What?
Negative, Part 1.
Okay. So we got some future stuff happening. It's Bart and Nora. They're playing some game that Nora didn't want to play until she wins, and then she's like, yeah, let's keep playing. But then they get a call from their mother about some general stuff, but then the claw all just glitches out and she disappears in the little green poofy stuff, sparkle things. And present day Iris appears there, just in their living room.
Them saying like, does mom look younger? And I was like, absolutely not. She does not.
Like, not at all, actually. Like, looks the same, just a different hairstyle. Like, that's.
I was like for all you could have told me, all you did was change her hair color. And I would have believed that could have been a whole setting on the video call thing. That could have just been a quality issue.
Yeah, exactly. It could have just been the filter. Like, we don't know.
You know, so I was like, what do you mean does she look younger? No. Maybe like 5 minutes ago younger, but like you ain't gonna tell me 25 years younger.
Because they definitely didn't age her at all in that phone call.
That's what I've been saying this whole time. I was like, it's also weird they don't do that. Like they keep showing her as her current self. I was like, could you add some grays up in there?
Add some grays, or do a little makeup under here, give a couple more wrinkles underneath here, something.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you guys can do it.
You did it to Barry in one episode, multiple times.
Yeah, like you aged him.
Yeah. Even the dude that he was going up against in that show. You did it to two people in that episode, actually. You aged up and down with two people in that episode. But yeah, so apparently, like Iris is asking, Bart and Nora about Barry, and he's, I guess, off-world doing something with Jay, because of course he is.
Right. They're never gonna show us Barry in that time.
I guess not.
They're trying so hard not to.
Yeah, and they're like, well, let's run you back to your time. And Nora tries to do it, and they can't do it because Still Force is keeping her there for some reason, just like a wall. Just can't do it.
They're like, you free to go, Nora. She is not.
Yeah. So also Dr. Duana, she gets her suit back in the present. She's, in that black suit. And there's more training going on. And she's not perfect at it, so she's tripping.
And she's pushing herself a lot.
Yeah. And Barry runs after her. She's in an alley, and he, basically reveals himself. Well, tells her his identity. He doesn't pull his dick out. He tells her he's who he is. He's Barry Allen.
If he was pulling his dick out, I would say exposed himself.
Expose himself, reveals himself. It could be both. Two things could be true. I would just clarify.
The writer, if he was just like, one just has gives a different feel to it. But anyway.
I hear you. But then he, after their conversation, she gets the name Fast Track. I'm like, okay, cool.
I was like, but wouldn't someone, like, now that I was when I heard that, I was like, where did he get that from? And I was like, her Labs is called that. So to some degree, wouldn't that just tie back to her?
Yeah.
But what does Barry care when Barry keeps revealing himself to everyone in the fucking city?
Everyone.
Well, Oliver's not alive for people to keep finding out that he's the Green Arrow, so Barry has to keep it up.
Yeah, because Oliver Queen is the Arrow, worst kept secret ever, until he tells the entire city, like, purposely, before he had already told the entire city.
The whole world who he was.
Yeah. All the people he hadn't already told, Anyway.
There are some days I want to go back and watch the series over, and then there's just some days I'm just like, why would you do that?
I would just watch through the Deathstroke stuff, because that was where it peaked me. Like it never got better than the time with Deathstroke.
Is that season 3?
I think so.
Because season 3, where I was like, oh, this shit fire.
Yeah. The Slade stuff is where that show peaked. But yeah. Let's see. So then we got back to where we left off on last episode, where Dion shows up in Thawne's cell, and we don't know what he's going to do until he snaps his fingers and he kills Thawne, like super aged him until he was dead.
Yep.
and then kept going because he could have just went till he died, and then he like aged him till he was just like all like decomposed and shit. Barry's they get that, you know, alert.
They get about an energy reading because Cisco gave them access to Leanne Yu through Argus because they're friends. And I was like, if that's not a shitty way of doing a Supermax facility, I don't know what is.
I mean, hey, they're friends.
I get it. That's the problem. I mean, not
it's
the problem,
Team Flash.
But like I was like, it's a good thing that like Barry is a superhero. It's just kind of like
I'm sure he has other friends that he didn't give access to Argus, stuff to. But yeah, Barry runs to the prison, sees the body and all that. What?
I was gonna say not like a certain girl, like maybe hopefully he's not giving it to a certain girlfriend, but then I realized she's dead. So yeah. Like ex-girlfriend, I'm
about to say his girlfriend's not dead. She left with him. Okay. Are you talking about the other one that does the vibe stuff, and I can't remember her name.
Yeah, the one who was bopping around.
Yeah.
Worlds.
Yeah. So yeah, we got Joe and Cecile arguing about her vigilante stuff. Her new power.
It's random.
Yeah. Apparently, the new power she got came from Vertigo. Not the actual condition, the villain. Yeah, apparently she can just pull powers from other psychics, which was strange because she couldn't pull the powers from the Fear Force because that's kind of what he does. But anyway, so Joe wants to, test out that theory, and gets them into Iron Heights. So they're going to go to Iron Heights
to test it on metas who are also already imprisoned.
Right. So meanwhile, in the future, they're running tests on Iris, and turns out she's got negative tachyons all up in her. And
sounds like bad science stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Nora runs back to 2022. The forces all show up there. They're looking for Thawne, and they want to kill Thawne. This is other Thawne, not the Thawne they already killed, but the other Thawne, the one that's like good now because they don't remember nothing. They want to kill him so he can fulfill his purpose. So I guess I'm like, okay, so I guess they just killing Thawnes now. That was my note at the time because I didn't know what was happening. Barry shows up, and Barry does the thing where he makes everything freeze. Strength Force was gonna kill him, but he like does a little thing where he breaks free and blasts lightning all over the place. And after that we figure out like, oh, these are the negative forces. That's not Dion. That's not who we thought they were. That's the negative forces.
Yeah.
So negative Steel Force, negative Fear Force, negative Strength Force. Let's see. Let me cut back to Caitlin and Mark. They're still at it. Who cares? Let's see. We got Nora. She's telling the folks stuff. Negative forces are pissed because Barry took out the negative Speed Force when he took Thawne's speed away. So they like, how dare you kind of thing. We got Cecile in Iron Heights testing out that theory and the whole being able to read minds and stuff from that one meta, and it works. Like she's absorbs that meta's powers, and that meta can't do shit. Now she can hear like the entire city's thoughts, even though there's like a dampener in that room,
which is like witchcraft.
Yeah. And so Vertigo's like, I think I know what might be happening to you. Might be like becoming the most powerful meta in the world. And I'm like,
how do you even come to that estimation?
I don't know. That she knows something. So there's something else to that.
Because like when she said that, I thought she was gonna say some crazy reason as to why this is happening. And I was like, and then she said that, and I was like, what?
Yeah, she's becoming Charles Xavier. So
yeah, like what? Like I was like, is Cecile in Avatar? Like, what is this?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. So Barry's like, all right, I got an idea. She turns to Dr. Dewan, like, yo, you are gonna share your powers with Thawne so that y'all can both be speedsters and y'all can help me out. Flash gives Thawne the reverse flash ring so he can put on the suit. And they do the whole transfer thing. And I guess it works. Negative forces show up. They in the building while this is happening. Negative Dion almost does the snap thing on all of them. But Barry shows up and, he got back up because it worked. So we got the speedsters versus the forces. At the same time, Iris is in the future seeing stuff, and she's just like, oh no, I think I know what's actually happening after she like lets it all come into her. And she's just like, it's not Thawne. That's the key to all this. It's, and then Dion snaps, brings her in front of himself.
Like the great sacrifice. And it's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, sacrifice has got to be made. And Barry does this whole thing where he runs around and kind of charge up before he throws lightning. He shows up right in front of Dion to throw the lightning. Right at that time, Negative Dion does the little snap of the fingers. Snaps. Iris appears right in front of him, and she takes that lightning straight to the chest.
I wonder how much that hurt when it hit her.
Probably not at all. She probably died instantly. Because as much charge as he did, it was supposed to be used on Dion. So
on a negative force, not a human.
Yeah, so that was he was building up enough to try to hurt them. So regular ass human taking that shit died rather quickly, I would guess. But yeah, she catches the lightning bolt. And as I'm watching this, it's funny because I'm just looking like, oh damn, and I'm just like eyes wide, mouth hanging like. And at that moment, like Amani comes in the room, she's like, what's going on? She's just like looking back and forth, like, what happened? She's looking at me like, you don't know. And she's just watching, and I'm just like, then gets even crazier because then Iris goes all green, little dot sparkly, and disappears and like gets absorbed into Thawne. And then Thawne starts screaming and like run, 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 pulls his own face off and turns into the other Thawne. And I'm like, what the
into
fuck?
The Wells Thawne. Yeah, I was just like, is he turning into Iris? I'm so confused.
Was too.
I was so lost, and I was watching it with Kiddo, and we were just both sitting here just like, oh. And then all of a sudden he started screaming, and she was like, what's going on? I was like, I have no idea. And then he started ripping his face off, and I was like, oh my God.
Wants to take his face off. But yeah, so Wells Thawne is back and has his speed again. Seems very pleased with himself. Which is like, has he become the negative speed force? Is that what they were trying to do? Like, is that what happened? Like, I don't know what's going on here.
I thought when he absorbed it, I was like, oh shit. Now we get that evil Wells back, that evil Thawne back. And then it was like, nope, I'm gonna rip his face off in front of the woman he loves. Mm-hmm. For shits and giggles.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, that was the Flash. Mara, who's winning?
It seems seems like a plethora of people are winning, but I'm gonna go with Wells / Thawne.
Yeah. I was gonna say the same thing. It was between him and Allie. So I was just like,
Yeah, I was like, him and Allie like are pretty much both winning, but
he got his
I feel
powers
like
back. So it was just
I was gonna say like he has the biggest win right now.
he
She's
went
kind
from
of still in the process.
right. She was on a steady climb. He went from being powerless in prison to having his powers back and being out and about. So
Resurrected and all that.
yeah. Plus, it's just it's always cool getting Tom Cavanaugh back. So who's losing?
I wrote Barry / Iris because it's kind of like.
I mean, Iris is the one that died, so I'm gonna say Iris.
I was the reason. So until I watched the preview for the finale next week, the reason I was caught between both of them because I was like, damn, not only did Barry just lose his wife,
he killed her.
Kids, yeah, that too, and like their kids are gonna go. Like their kids are gone now. But then I watched the preview, and who's in the fucking finale?
Nora. Yeah.
Helping them fight, both of them.
Yeah. Well, I remember seeing Nora's face herself, like at the beginning of the preview. So, but yeah.
And you see both of them in there, and I was just like, okay, that the logic there needs to be explained because if Iris dies in 2022,
there is no children. Exactly.
Yeah. How like because the eggs will die too. So how did Nora and Bart come up to speed?
Clearly every little thing is going to be all right. So they're going to bring Iris back so she can have them babies. Huh?
I said, that's Luna's song.
Oh, really?
That's what they sang for their last day of school, their end of school year song. So
they sang Bob Marley?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
The other day, some commercial came up that uses the song in it. But I forget I don't remember if it was for a vacation or just something that was like adult. It was like, why would you know this commercial? And she was just singing along with it. And I didn't even think about the whole school thing. And I was just like, I looked at her, I was like, how do you know this song? And she was like, from school. And I was like, right.
Yeah. So I say Iris, but that's just my humble opinion because it would have been Clark being powerless and shit, or John going missing and shit. But we, I'm
but Iris dying, kind of, yeah. I wonder if Barry's gonna go back in time.
Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, I think that'll be it for this week's episode of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. Next week is the finales of both of these shows. Until then, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Creation World. That is at TheCreatia World. Also, you can catch us on Facebook at facebook.com/Creation World. Also on Facebook is a Facebook group for this particular podcast. Mara, what's that Facebook group?
Facebook.com/groups/Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow.
Yes, and also you can follow me on both Twitter and Instagram at Lord_Cussalott. That is at LORD_CUSSALOTT. Mara, where can they find you?
Mara the Shark on both of Instagram and Twitter. MARADASHARK.
Cool. Also, if you're a wrestling fan, don't forget to check out Smacking It Raw each and every week. Starring Ward Matt Ritter and Vince Daddy Delgado. Also, you can catch them on their Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Smacking It Raw. Also, you can, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/Creation World. Believe that'll be it. Anything else from you, Mara?
No, that's it.
All right, cool. We'll catch y'all next week. Until then, we out.
Bye.